SQ at the beginning really annoyed me. I thought for sure that she was just gonna be like a fan service character, especially with the way she was bending over and shit. They gave us an
angles.
The ass shot right off the bat was like, wow, dude.
I was like, oh, well, SQ is supposed to be the fucking eye candy here, huh?
For sure.
Just early on, just like, okay, bright hair, everything is bright about her. And then she has that personality that's like, she's always joking around, which means that she's probably hiding some shit.
Yeah, after like 1 or 2 episodes, my girlfriend was already tired of her. And I didn't blame her at all. I called it right away that she was going to be the first fucking Gnosia. It was too obvious.
I'm pretty sure I did too. I think I have it written down in my notes.
Yeah, like it was so clear as day that she was going to be the first.
But that boy was traumatized off of her for the next few loops.
I didn't blame him. She was scary, dude. That face she made when she revealed it after he put the other person in the fucking cold storage, and she was standing behind him.
But honestly, that might have been Manan. That could explain why she was, you know, that psychotic.
Definitely could have been. Yeah, and Manan mixed with the Gnosia, crazy. I do not want to see that. I mean, I do, but I don't. For Yuri's sake.
Shit, I doubt he'll get traumatized again. Because Jina was a Gnosia, and for some reason, he didn't get traumatized off of that.
Jina as a Gnosia, I honestly loved it. So again, it really hammered home that the Gnosia cannot be written off as pure evil antagonistic characters, which is something I love about this show. There's depth to everybody. There's layers to everybody, including the Gnosia. They had that in the Jina's episode. So I see a pattern where they're giving like every character an episode to shine, it seems like. And in one of the first ones with Jina, when they go out and do that spacewalk and everything, she really went out of her way to make a connection with him just to stab him in the back.
Which is funny because Yuri brings it up later on when obviously he's showing everybody the fucking silver key in every goddamn episode that he's trying to get closer to people. I'm just like, yo, all right, bro. Like, you just whipping it out now? But yeah, he's just like, what are you gonna do? You gonna bring me out to space? And she's just like, how the fuck did you know?
My man is learning. Like, that episode that they give later on to Jina, where she like explains her story and everything and explains her mom and stuff, even though she's a Gnosia again, like I really felt for her.
They set up that episode so it would be like you kind of have some pity for her, because you know from the get-go, like I think it was Setsu or it was Racio that was saying like the more that you talk, the more suspicious you are. If you're not saying anything, the more suspicious you are, because it looks like you're just monitoring. Jesus Christ.
And that's kind of just in Gina's character. She really doesn't talk very much outside of like the one-on-one. And when she was a Gnosia too, like she went out of her way to be a hero and save everybody, even though she was infected. When she pushed Yuri back to the fucking ship and was like, I'm just gonna float out in space here. Y'all are good.
Admirable. One thing that I had to question, episode 6, right? I had to buckle down on this one. I was like, yo, so Kukrushka is the engineer in the sloop, right? And Comet also said that they were the engineer. Yuriko claims that she's the doctor, and Shigemichi also claims it as well. Yuri ended up protecting Kukrushka, and no one ended up dying during the warp. So the next time they warp, Setsu ends up dying. Before that, Yuri meets up with Kukrushka and tells her that he was the one that protected her. Now, Racio ends up being the Gnosia, eavesdrops on Yuri and Kukrushka's conversation. Yuriko tells everyone that Comet was a Gnosia, but Shigemichi claims that she's a human. Kukrushka is the only person that claims to be an engineer, but somehow Racio spins the situation against Yuri by asking him, when was that confirmed? If no one died during the first warp, and a Gnosia usually kills someone, wouldn't that clearly make what Yuri say is true? Especially after getting rid of Comet, who was claiming to be an engineer. Also, how convenient for them to now have video recording to use against Yuri, which is crazy, bro. This ship is fucking decked out. It has holograms on it.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. You'd think they would use that more often.
Racio claimed he was the guardian, but never said who he protected. So how isn't Yuri justified, or to better phrase it, why didn't Yuri question him back?
Because he didn't want to be seen as arguing, and Yuri he like lost his nerves a bit. Because Racio, being so goddamn smart, is able to just talk in circles. He's too good.
That was my thing. Because I'm just like, why didn't he just question him back? The most basic things that he could have done.
Yeah, he started to panic. He didn't know what to do. Because he's learning as it goes on.
But Racio got him. That's all right. But that was one of the things that I had to question. It was throwing me for a loop. Haha.
Which I think shortly after that, Stella gets introduced. Stella annoyed me at the beginning. I guess it was just that time loop, though, because she, I guess, if I remember right, Yuri, even though he's an amnesiac, he didn't remember, but I guess he's to the ship, and that's why in that time loop, she was super duper into him and was like all up on his shit. So I got a little scared that she was going to be another almost fan service character. They quickly told us it wasn't. I think it was like the next episode, or pretty close after. I guess it was episode 3. There you go.
Episode 3, that's when she gets introduced. And I didn't think that she was gonna be like another fan service character.
When she first shows up, her intro, she like hugs Yuri and's all up on his That's why I got a little worried.
She kind of reminded me of Mercy.
She does have a similar design to Mercy. Yeah, you're right. With that like tiara thing she had on.
Stella didn't get a backstory, or we didn't get anything until later on.
Yeah, we get more of her backstory when Jonas shows up.
Because apparently she's a combat medic.
Stella, the way they explained it was like she's a human version of LeVi, the AI, and she was made to help Jonas be able to captain the ship because Jonas is like a boomer and doesn't like future stuff. He doesn't like AI. So they humanized Stella by putting LeVi into, yeah, like a cyborg type thing. I was cracking up because I was like, oh damn, Jonas really is a boomer. Doesn't like the AI, but I get it.
So that just might have been just a cover-up, being sent by the government as a combat maid to look after the captain.
Yeah, because they didn't like want him to know that she's AI.
Oh wow, Jonas. Oh Jesus Christ. I don't even know what to say about that character. Cause off rip, he's over here. He's saying all of these like, I don't know. I wanted to say mantras, but mantras is not it.
He speaks very romantically. Like he's got that cowboy look when he gets introduced. He's hanging out in like a field and has Kukrushka sitting next to him.
He does say something very misogynistic. He's just like, yeah, bro, yeah. A woman is more prettier when she doesn't speak.
Like he puts his hand under Kukrushka's chin. He's like, you're so beautiful.
We get a little bit of his lore during that episode where apparently he's the hero of the space exploration era and now just a drifter through space. And the Space Federation has officially designated him as insane.
When the first moment he showed up, my notes I wrote down was, damn, Jonas is Mr. Bitches, Mr. Suave, Mr. Romantic Cowboy.
I wonder how fast he switched up on that after seeing that Kukrushka show.
Very quick. Well, when you learn more about him and Kukrushka, and yeah, for sure. I felt he quickly got sympathized when you find out like why Kukrushka.
Yeah, you find out that he likes collecting antiques. The funniest episode, I think by far, was episode 7, where this nigga just stitches himself out after winning against Shigemichi.
I was crying, bro. That shit was so funny. Hilarious.
Nigga could not help but brag. And then got caught up in the emotions.
The cut when they're putting him in cold storage right after that killed me. They're done very well. Speaking of Kukrushka, the Kukrushka episode where she goes off the rails, it's very rare that you see a tonal shift like that, where it goes from like, oh, happy ending, to, holy fuck, this is a murder scene. What is happening? I did not see that coming at all.
That doll was murking every fucking person in their sleep pods or the cold freeze.
Yeah, when they go to that cut and you just see like the dead body hanging and there's like a fucking steel pillar in the goddamn pod. Oh my god. And fucking Remnan shaking Yuri out of his sleep like, Yuri!
Yuri had to wake up to this bullshit. Jina gets friggin' offed. She's floating in space. I'm just like, oh shit.
Bro, that whole scene, that whole ending really threw me for a loop. I did not see any of that coming. I was shocked.
Yeah, when they was trying to get into the escape pod, pretty fucked up. All he hears the thing just like one. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
shit.
And then she starts prying her way in. Oh, bro. And it really adds to it, like the fact that she's a mute too and can't talk, so there's no reasoning with her or nothing.
It's just the eyes. It's just body language. Holy shit. The intimidation. She was just oozing menacing, bro.
Yeah, and the way she's just dragging the pipe behind her, walking real she don't have to run. She knows she's gonna get you.
Remnan was over here petrified.
I didn't blame him one bit. I would have been petrified.
I was trying to figure out, like, bro, what is happening with this dude? Like, they go into the hologram room. They're out in the field. She puts the crown of flowers on top of his head. And then all of a sudden, he just flashes to seeing Manan, which we don't know who that is at that point. So I was just like, oh, a chick with a bowl cut. And now he's bleeding. I'm just like, bro, maybe he's just like being a little bit over dramatic.
That whole scene was one thing I did note down, because as far as like cinematography and editing and the way that they did that, I felt like they really did a good job of showing PTSD there. How quick you're getting those flashes and start to panic, the way he started to hyperventilate and almost hallucinate a little bit, but just his memories of the blood and stuff. They did a really good job with that.
I guess you could say that is Manan, but like, I don't know. What does SQ say about Manan? She does mention saying that she's a natural born liar. And then a lot of memories that SQ has is super intense and gory. That could be an implication that maybe Manan got into that.
What I was gonna say is that episode there, especially the ending, like, did you notice how Yuriko wasn't surprised at all about any of the shit that Yuri said? It almost makes me think that Yuriko could potentially be a third.
I mentioned something within the notes that the person that gave set to it would be connected to Yuriko. That whole elevator event kind of put me on suspicion with her.
Yeah, she definitely seems to have some kind of knowledge about what's going on. And also the Kukrushka part in that last episode, I am subscribing to the theory that when Berserk like that, it could potentially be because Manan isn't.
But we don't know how Manan is getting there.
And it seems like maybe Yuriko does. It could potentially be from the side, like they were saying. They kind of implied it a little bit.
So what the fuck happened to Jina's mother? He's just like, yeah,
right.
She just fucking disappeared. Like, no, nigga, there has to be something.
Right, they might be storing them somewhere or something. And I think it could potentially be also connected, like I was saying before, to what's happening when the Gnosia are doing whatever they're doing to these people. And what if, and this is just a crazy theory that I was thinking of, like, what if the shrine maidens and the whole cyberization thing is connected to the Gnosia, and the Gnosia are actually that whole movement? Like, that's their way of collecting people's souls and stuff willingly by cyberizing them, and then unwillingly, like what they're doing on the ship. Like, it's all connected. And Yuriko knows, and that's why she seems to have the knowledge. Like, maybe that's why she did say there that she's a fallen shrine maid. Maybe she knows and she was like, I'm not with it, I'm out.
I mean, that's plausible.
That's my theory right now, at least. Yeah, she said she was a fallen shrine maiden at the end there.
Yeah, she says she's a fugitive from the Hoshibune.
So I think maybe she found out that the shrine maidens are actually working for the Gnosia. But who's she gonna tell? Like, who's gonna believe that?
I do want to make a comment on Yuri, because I don't know what's up with boy, but Jesus Christ. Here's one thing that Setsu told him off rip. Do not trust anyone at all, including them. The next world line that he goes to, he tells Jina, and it just backfires on him. And then we see it again. It backfires again.
Yeah, he's very naive, but he's learning. Slowly but surely. He is learning. He's getting better. But he's very naive, though.
Off topic, but I mean, still on anime. What the fuck is 3D chess?
I don't know. I was wondering the same thing. Then they made like some kind of comment in the episodes that 3D chess is also like sex or something.
What, is it like a lewd act or like? And then on top of that, they spelled it out. Like, they had when Yuri said it, it was 3D chess, and then when LeVi says it, it's spelled out like 3D and chess.
Yeah, maybe it's like two different names. It's got to be the way they reacted. It must be another name for some kind of lewd act.
Yuriko says that it's true that Gnosias attack and eliminate humans, but it's also said that they don't actually take their lives. They might simply transfer their souls elsewhere. And that coincides with what Jina was saying beforehand, that she doesn't want to be killed by a Gnosia because she believes that you don't die.
Yeah, then you find out that it's also because of what happened to her mom with the whole cyberization, which is part of the reason I'm thinking that cyberization and the Gnosia are the same thing.
Because she says verbatim, something somewhere in this universe is trying to corrupt us, to try to turn us into something else.
Yeah, and she's worried that that's what happened to her mom.